Pre-Calc, it's 8-98, letter F. We were working on this in class, and we got stumped. This one, I'm not going to lie, I spent some time working on the left-hand side, which I usually do, and I went around in a circle, and then I decided to try working on the right-hand side instead, because we're supposed to work on one side or the other, whichever is the most complicated side. Whatever I kept doing to this one, I ended up making it more complicated over here. So when I tried working over here, I just went along and I wrote cosecant, that's 1 over sine, and cotangent is cosine over sine. So I just did that. And then I saw that I had a common denominator, so I just wrote them over the common denominator. And so that seemed, I'm not sure how this was ever going to get to here, but I just kept following the path. And then I realized that if you have 1 over something, then you can just write, like this is 1 over something, so it's the reciprocal of this. So I just flipped it, up. I flipped it up, and then that's when I got really stuck. So then I'll cover this part up. I was stuck right here because I know that I'm trying to get to cosecant, which is 1 over sine, and cotangent, which is cosine over sine. So I knew I couldn't have this down here. And then I wished that I could square both sides or something. I wanted this to become that beautiful one, that I call it the beautiful one. I know that there's an identity that like 1 minus cosine squared theta is sine squared theta, or sine squared theta plus cosine squared theta is 1. So I really wanted that to happen. And I couldn't figure out, how to do that. So I just peeked. I peeked in the book. And what the book did was so smart, and we're gonna remember this always. They multiplied by the conjugate. And I should have remembered that. I don't know if some of you remembered that, but multiplied by the conjugate. Okay, so if you multiply by the conjugate of this, you have the difference of squares, and you just end up with basically this, I think. So, and I'll show you where I wrote it down here. See 1 minus cosine x and 1 plus cosine x? Well, they're difference of squares. Yeah, it's like a difference of squares. So you end up with 1 minus cosine squared x. I don't even think I even wrote it right there. I know that 1 minus cosine squared x is sine squared x. So I kind of skipped that step. So these two multiplied together makes this, which is 1 minus cosine squared x. But I know that's equal to sine squared x, so I just jumped right to that step. And then this one I distributed, and I got that. And then I noticed that if I canceled out, really maybe I didn't need to distribute that. It was silly that I distributed that. Anyway, this gives me 1 over sine x, and this gives me cosine x over sine x, and that's pretty much what we have up here. So that's how I finished it, like that. That's a good way to do it. So I think everybody was getting stuck right here, and I did waste a little bit of time over here working on this side before I even started the video. So that didn't work, but this worked. Good luck.